Hey everybody, as you're making your little earbud boxes in OnShape, I wanted to show you all some features that you can use, specifically linear pattern feature, which is really cool. Sometimes when you want vent holes, you're going to want a bunch of them, and you're not going to necessarily want to draw a dozen or more little shapes that are identical and dimension them all properly and space them all exactly so. And so there's a feature called linear pattern that can do that for us. It's really exciting. I did that within the sketch. Like, this was a pain in the butt to do inside the sketch, because when you click linear pattern, you got to make sure you're put in the right direction. You got to make sure that you got the right number of instances. You can't do symmetrical stuff as easily. It's kind of a pain in the butt. I had to start by putting down, I think I put down this one first over here, and then I made it go this direction and that direction. It's a pain in the butt. I didn't like doing it. So there's an easier way, because you get a whole menu to go with it. I made this one the same way over here, this series of little oblong ones. I had started with this guy, I dimensioned it, and then I made 5 more of them that way with linear pattern. Again, it's a pain in the butt to do it like that. And so here's one that I did that did not have that problem. It was very nice. Another one that I did, oh, that gives away a secret. Surprise. Anyways, let's say that I've got a circular hole in the bottom of this guy, and I want to pattern that. I'm just going to extrude this out. I'm going to tell it to remove it. I'm going to tell it to go to the next surface, and that'll just go right through only the bottom to the bottom of the bottom, basically. And that's a hole. I've made a hole. I've got not only do I have that linear pattern feature like in the sketch menu, I also have it out here in the 3D menu. That's right here, linear pattern. Right when the first thing I do, I hit a linear pattern, it's going to say part pattern. I don't want a part pattern. What's going to happen if I do a part pattern is if I click on where I want that hole to be patterned, it's going to pattern. I gotta find a direction. What direction do I want to go? Oh, I don't even know how to do that. It's going to pattern the actual entire part. So let's not do a part pattern. Let's do a feature pattern. Feature pattern is great because I can pick, either I can try to like aim for this extrusion here, or I can actually go pick the extrude that I just did out of my list, and that'll pattern that guy. It wants me to have a direction, so if I tell it to go like towards this wall over here, oops, I just picked that wall. Hang on, I gotta click where it says direction. There we go. Pattern it towards that wall right there. Oh, my feature I picked is shell now. I've made a mistake. Feature to pattern, extrude 3, direction towards that wall. There we go. It's actually going that way. I can change the direction, make it actually go towards the wall. But I've centered this, here. I want it to go both directions. If I hit centered, it'll go both directions. 2 means it counts this one and then one more, that's 2. So in both directions, I'm going to end up with 3. If I wanted 5, I would say I want 3 because I'll have 1 in the middle and then 2, 3 in each direction, 2, 3. Of course, now they're going too far. I don't want them that far apart. I think 10 millimeters is just fine. What about going this way, though? Oh, I can do a second direction. If I click second direction, I want it to go towards this face or away from this face, the case may be. Instance count, let's do 2 for now. And we don't need it to go 25. And we want it to go both directions. I'm going to center it. I've got 3 by 5. If you wanted 4 by 5, you might have to not use a centered, because or you might have only going one direction. Like, let's say I want it to go one direction. What if I want 4? Well, that's okay. I can do that. I just probably need to change that down to, I don't know, 5 millimeters. And it works. It's in the back. You might have something like this, especially like if a lot of people did like a toggle, they put a little toggly part. If I had a toggle here and put my vents all on that side, that would work. That'd be a good way to use that space. So that's how you use a linear pattern. You can also use linear patterns, like I'm going to make sort of these oblongs that I keep trying to make. There we go. This sketch is, I want to say sketch 3? Sketch 2? There he is, sketch 2. I want to show you something about sketch 2. There's different types of arcs. If I want to do this arc on the end, I could do a center point arc. If I did that, I'm going to have to try to kind of aim horizontal to this and in the middle. It's doable like that. It's doable. The other way you can do it, though, is using a 3-point arc. If I click here, and then click here. My third point will be how far is my radius going to be, what direction is it going to be on. If I'm careful when I'm moving it, it'll snap to be tangent with one of my other sides. So there's two ways to make that. Let's say I want my radius to be not 6. Let's make the radius 2. That'll make the whole thing 4 millimeters across. It might be too big still. I might want to change that radius. Hang on. Let's do my radius. Let's make it 2 millimeters total. So 1 millimeter radius means I have 2 millimeters across. There we go. I've already dimensioned where I want it to be. Let's pick this. I could use this pattern, or I could just say, hey, that's great. Let's do this. Let's extrude, make a hole, remove, go to the next face, and be done. All right. My linear pattern, in this case, I probably wouldn't go, oh, I don't want part. That's right. I need a feature pattern. I want this extrude I just made patterned. I don't need, let's see, a direction. I'm going to go this way. I don't need 25 millimeters. Put them closer together. Give me maybe 4 of them centered. That'll make 7 across. Oh, it needs to be closer together. And as you can see, you can play with these. If you don't have it already drawn out and dimensioned the way you want it to be, you can play around with it a bit as you have it open and make yourself a little pattern. There's just some slots along the side like that. When I was working with it in the sketch, though, like, let's not do this real quick. Let me show you something about this sketch here. Oh, not this extrude. Let's go back to the sketch. Where's my sketch? This one. All right. I'm going to take away the location here. Let's see. There's a constraint that's sticking it to the center line. Let's see. What's sticking it? This right here? No. There's something that's sticking it to here. What's vertical? Can I move you over yet? Oh, you know, because I made it symmetrical across the middle. Never mind. Undo what I just did. Okay. I can't do it. Let's just say, all right, so instead of, let's do a linear pattern here. Let's go back to my sketch, and I'll use the pattern inside the sketch. I want to pattern this, and this piece. And I want it to go, let's say I do want 3 of them. I can actually change this. I want just 1 this way, yep. But let's say I don't want it all in a row. I can actually like change the angle of this, I think. Let's see, delete. Can I delete this side? Oops, no. I don't know if I can. I was messing with it earlier and I could actually just, there we go. I could actually just sort of turn this, but I don't know if I can. Yes, I can. There we go. If you grab the little box, you can change the direction of it. So let's say I want to go up to the right a little bit. I don't want them 11. Let's make this a 10. And there we go. That's going to be cool. Let's see what happens. All right, I've got to go back to my extrude then and also include these 2. And there's, you can make them on an angle. I'm not sure how to do that with the 3D feature where you do linear. I'm going to have to explore with that. Something that is cool that you can do, though, you don't necessarily need to do a linear pattern. Let's do a remove on this and make it go to the next face. If you look at sort of the sketch that I made for that, where's my sketch gone? That I made. This sketch here, I like made it very specific. I gave a construction line for a midpoint and 2 construction lines out here that are symmetrical across that midline, and I gave it some distances. I said, okay, it's going to be a 60-degree angle. I want my first radius at 15, my second at 12. That'll make it 3 millimeters apart. So if you do that guy, you can actually do a circular pattern. I'm going to again do a feature pattern, so I'm going to take that extrude right there. And axis of this pattern, I'm going to pick, I made a construction line, actually I made a plane and a line. I made a plane at that center point and a line along there. If you have this centered like on the origin, then you can easily make a line at the origin going in a different direction on a different plane, and then use that one as your axis. I'm going to grab this axis here. Look at that. I can make it go around 4. I can make it an odd number to give it some visual interest. You could do like a biohazard symbol or something. You can make it go around 5, like that. You can go back to your sketch and you can, where's my sketch that goes with it? This guy. And you can change your angle. Maybe I just want it 45 degrees so I have a smaller, like a skinnier opening. and that'll change it. You can go back to your pattern and make it maybe 6 now, maybe 7. That's getting kind of close, probably 6. So you can mess around with it, and it's kind of, I think it's fun to do. I made my life harder by actually not centering this on the bottom like the other one that I showed y'all. This one actually gets kind of close over here to the to this guy, so I did not place it in a very good location. The next really cool thing you can do, you don't only have those, you can also go along a curve. And so I made a curve, a kind of fancy looking curve. It's going to be on this face. Let me see. I can show it. Here we go. Let's unsuppress these so you can see them. I unsuppress this. Where is it? There it is. Isn't that cool? I think that's so cool. I made a like a weird sort of conic curve. I made it a construction line, and I made a circle that I extruded in the same sketch, and I just said, hey, let's put a whole bunch on here and make a really kind of cool pattern like that. So there's options. Your patterns can be linear, they can be circular, they can be along some other curve. I could probably have done a spline, but I don't know if you've heard me say before, I don't like splines. I'm not good at them. I have not had a lot of experience playing around with them. I'm more of a geometric than a sort of organic person. I think when I do mine, I'm going to use a pattern kind of like, I don't know. I can't decide now. I've got too many cool options. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful afternoon or evening or morning, whatever time of day it is you're watching this. And y'all stay safe and healthy. And if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.